Welcome to Tuttle Talk, a part of the Real Estate Radio Network. And now, live in studio, offering you a fresh perspective. He's your local real estate and finance expert. He's part of the Common Sense Party, and he's committed to teaching you how to win in any market. Your host, Andy Tuttle.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network, where we teach you what the rich and the banks do, not what they tell you to do, and where we dispel the misconceptions of financial wellness and the local real estate market, and show you how focusing on a few key principles really can free you up to focus on the other important areas of your life, like your friends, your family, and the community. It's the most important hour of radio right here every Sunday, 3 o'clock on 660 AM, The Answer, in the great state of Texas. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. Thank you so much for joining me. You can reach out to us during or after the show on my off-air number, 214-736-9696, 214-736-9696. You can also email me at questions@andytuttle.com, and you can get into the conversation, become a fan of the show at facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. And don't forget, if you get out of your car and you still want to listen to this show, because I know you're glued, and you want to go into the grocery shopping and still want to make sure you don't miss a minute, you can go to your iHeartRadio app, or you can also stream this at 660amtheanswer.com. Well, I know we're picking up a new audience today. Coming to a new station, coming to an upgraded station. Got a great time here Sunday at 3 o'clock, and very happy to be with you. And we're going to make sure to bring you the balanced truths of what's going on in the market. I know there's a lot of talking heads out there. I know there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and there's even just some good national news, but it doesn't apply here locally. So my goal is to make sure every week to bring to you what's really going on, to kind of get through some of the muck out there so you can get a better and a unique perspective on what's happening in the marketplace. And to celebrate, to invite all of you to say thank you to all the supporters that have changed stations with us, and to invite all the new guests and listeners of the show to have a good time with us to celebrate this new station. We're having a contest. It's good for all of April. You go to facebook.com/Tuttle Talk, and we're going to be posting kind of the new station celebration link, the picture, the promotion, whatever you want to call it, periodically throughout the month. And every time you like the page, you first go like the page, and then every time you share that, you're going to be entered into the raffle. And so we're giving away all kinds of cool prizes. It's for the whole month of April. We got an iPad mini, I think, which is, I guess, the iPad wasn't good enough, the iPod, the iPhone, it just wasn't the right size. It's like the porridge thing. You know, you have mothers and dads, you needed Goldilocks, just had to find the right porridge. It's the same thing here. So we have the iPad mini for you. We have 2 tickets to the Texas Rangers game, sweet seats for the game coming up, and all you can eat.
Sweet seats or
sweet?
Good
Oh, there's
seats?
John. I didn't introduce you yet.
Sorry,
John.
man.
You
I had
can't
to
be
drop
just
in.
coming in. John Allen, Texas Community Insurance owner. He is an expert contributor on the show. We'll be talking to him soon. And actually, right now, since you decided to just interrupt me,
Just barged in. Sorry, man.
so we're giving away 2 Texas Rangers tickets. You're going to love that. And then we also have 2 $50 gift certificates to restaurant.com. So you can, I believe that means you can just pick out whatever restaurant you want to go to. It's good just about anywhere, right? So we've got a lot of great gifts. Remember, go to facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. And every time you share the promotion page, the celebration, new station celebration, you're going to get entered into, get a raffle ticket into the contest. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We hope you enjoy that, and hope you win. Good luck. Now, John, we have an awesome show today, and I'm so excited. This guy that we're bringing on today he's the best way I could figure out how to kick off the new station and this new time. And Michael Port, he is, based on Google searches, the number 5 most popular business coach in the world. He has written multiple best-selling books. He has a New York Times best-selling book called The Think Big Manifesto. He speaks all around the world. And I'm so excited to have him here today. Actually, Boston Globe called him an uncommonly honest author, which is true, because he just breaks it down. Wall Street Journal calls him a marketing guru. Then he really is. This guy understands the basics. So if you're a service professional, you're a business owner, most of us are in the service professional business. There's just so many service professionals, whether you're in fitness, whether you're in real estate or finance, or you are anything that you're selling that is standing in the service of others to help them reach their goals, you're a service professional. That's social media as well. That's so many professions. His whole career has been based around helping you become a better service professional and get book solid with ideal clients to help you do your best work. So it's very exciting, and we're going to tell you how to win a free copy of his new book, Book Yourself Solid. It's the illustrated version, so very interesting what he decided to do there. It's a re-release of one of his best sellers, but it's a fantastic book. It's core. It will speak to you. It can enrich your life, and it can really help you make a quantum leap in your business if you do it. But before we get to that, John, have you seen that movie, Oz?
Yes, I have actually.
Oh my God! So you wasted 2 hours of your life too?
I don't think it was a total waste. I enjoyed it.
What? You've lost
Sorry,
all
man.
credibility.
Yeah, maybe,
with me.
but I enjoyed it.
I was
with the kids. Does that count?
Yes, that counts. Okay, that's your only break, man, because that movie was absolutely awful. Beth and I saw it, thought it was going to be something. It was something. It was a waste of time. I absolutely hated it. What was redeeming about that movie?
Nothing really, I guess. But
Okay.
it was good to see Mila Kunis. Is that how you say her
Yeah,
name?
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. Sorry,
Yeah.
man. I thought she was going to be the good witch.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, it's good for her to be a little...
No.
Oh, don't give it away. Spoiler alert for this.
I just thought she was going to be the good
nominated
witch. It's
film.
actually 3 or 4 different options.
Well, I'm sorry you saw that. Don't go see that. Seriously, please don't go see that movie. It's a waste of your time. You won't get that money back or that time, which is more important. I also today, man, just real quick before we get into some of the word on wealth and some of the mortgage matters and some of the meat, I saw a wreck today. It's 6:35 on the tollway. There's all the construction. Well, a guy was going to exit, and right at the last minute, he decided to go left, break back into the lane. He cut off a Bronco. Bronco veered left into the middle lane, then had to veer back right to avoid another car, ran into the wall and rolled twice. It was brutal. And it's all because this guy decided he didn't want to take the extra 2 minutes it was going to take to actually exit and make a loop back around. It's not worth it. It's also not worth it to be on your cell phone. I am guilty of this too, but it's just not worth someone's life. Don't do it. Please, just put it down while you're in the car. Please, or use Siri, one of those things. All right, you're listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network. Coming up, we're going to get with John Allen about something actually important. Well, that was too. But about insurance, about the word on wealth, about some core things you need to know. And we're going to play a little game called Deal or No Deal we like to play on this show to see if you know and see if John knows an answer on what really can be done in today's credit markets as far as financing. And then we're going to get to our special guest, Michael Port. So stay with us. Welcome back, Dallas. You're listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. Thank you so much for joining me. I know we're picking up a new audience today, so happy to have you with us. Hope you'll stay tuned. We have a special guest today, Michael Port, multiple-time best-selling author, and he is going to help you get book solid with your ideal clients, those that help you do your best work and have a business that you can get excited about every single day. So very excited to have him. Right now, we're with John Allen, owner of Texas Community Insurance. He's an expert contributor on the show, takes care of so many of our clients, and is such a valuable resource to me. If during the conversation you want to reach out to us about anything mortgage-related, anything insurance-related, anyone we can connect you with, a preferred professional in the area, please call us, 214-736-9696, 214-736-9696, and we will get you connected with those that can help you. So, John, brother, to tell the people out here, I know that insurance for most people is not the most exciting thing. It's a necessary evil. But I like your perspective on how you bring insurance into a very usable, very practical, very important piece of the financial team, of your financial foundation, and what you need to know about it. So what do you have for us this week?
Well, I think thinking of insurance, instead of thinking of it like you're preparing for a final exam, think of it in terms of a wager. And one of the things that I've come to learn over, the more I do this in the insurance industry, the longer I'm in it, the more I've come to realize that if you make the bet, you will get paid. Meaning, if you take the endorsements, take the time to understand what's in your policy, you'll get paid for the claims. I hear so often that people are upset because they don't get paid when they have an insurance claim. The reason is they didn't buy what they thought they were getting. They just didn't take the time to actually look at what's in the policy and talk it through. And it's because they think they're going to be sold something they don't want or something they don't need. They just really need to think it through.
And so, and I see that. What you mean there is that so much of the time they're going for best price.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's a mistake.
It is a mistake. I mean, think about it for a second, just logically. All of the claims are paid out. The law of averages applies the same to everybody, regardless of which company you're with. So If one company is charging you $100 less for the same coverage that another company is, then you have to assume that either their loss history is significantly better than the other company, or more likely they're cutting the payouts and claims. So you have to really watch. If it gets too cheap, you have to wonder what you're giving away in coverage.
You always want the lowest cost provider up front, but boy, when that incident happens, that's the last person that you want. That's the last insurance coverage that you want.
But I hear it all the time. I mean, think about where else in life you go and you buy, you walk into the auto dealership and say, I want the cheapest car on the lot. Or you go to a restaurant and say, I want the cheapest steak on the menu. You certainly don't expect to get anything that you'll really enjoy. So why would you think of insurance that way? But people do.
Well, I think, too, maybe, and you're right about that, and it also gets me to think, sometimes I believe we do even fool ourselves and say, I want this cheapest thing here, but then when you get it, you're disappointed and you wonder why. It's because we believe a certain cost is associated with a product or a service in our head, and it's just wrong. It's just not correct, and we have to be open-minded enough and look at it and go, okay, well, I guess this is the market price. This is what it is. If I really want this value, I've got to pay this price.
You have to, as a consumer, have the confidence to be able to talk to whoever your insurance professional is and say, here are the things that are important to me, or help me understand what things are important to me, and you have to feel good about that conversation. It doesn't have to be long, drawn out, but you have to feel good about it. And as long as you feel good about it and you get on the table what's important to you, then you can look for the best price, given that you've identified what it is you need. And it shouldn't be all that difficult. It shouldn't take you that long.
You're listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network. John Allen, expert contributor, owner of Texas Community Insurance, dropping the knowledge for us today. Thanks so much, John. Now, I want to get into a section, and you're staying with us here in Mortgage Matters. This segment is brought to you by Utility Concierge. You make the selections, and they make the connections. Have them help you on all your home connections needs. You can get connected today by going to utilityconcierge.com. All right, John, we're going to play a game today. It's a game we played before, but not for a while. So now I bring back to you, deal or no deal?
Deal.
No, that's not how that works.
Sorry.
So here it is today. So this is a game that we bring some different financing scenarios to you, real-life situations, and you get to play, John, and it's now with you, if you think this is a deal or a no deal in today's mortgage industry. So here's a scenario. Deal or no deal? John, insurance guru Allen, owns a primary residence which is currently financed through the FHA, the Federal Housing Administration, government-backed loans. Now, he wants to buy a new primary residence due to an increase in family size and obtain new FHA financing. Are you with me so far?
So far, so good.
Okay, there is 20% equity in his current property, the one he owns now. He does not need to rent out his current primary residence. He can handle both the payments, no problem. Is this a deal or no deal?
I think it's no deal.
Do you have a reason for that?
It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right, and I need more of an explanation.
Ding, 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 ding. John, you're such a genius. I love having you on this show. You are right. It is no deal because in the case, there's a couple of exceptions for FHA. But when you move, if you have an FHA property currently and you want to buy another FHA property, and it's because you're increasing your family size, you must document 25% equity in the current primary residence, okay? Does that make sense? There are other exceptions that you can get it, which are vacating a jointly owned property. You're getting out of it and it was owned by two people. Borrower, then the borrower was the non-occupant borrower. So maybe you helped someone buy a home, but you didn't live there. You were the co-borrower to help them qualify, but you don't actually live in the property, you can get a new FHA mortgage. So, but if you're just increasing your family loan and you want to have two FHA loans, you're going to have 25% equity in that property.
Now I know how people feel when I talk to them about insurance nuance. I really do.
It's like, what's going on there? All right, well, it was a good game. We'll play again next week, so you'll want to stay tuned to that. You're listening to Tuttle Talk. If you are a service professional, maybe you're in social media, you're in real estate, finance, maybe you're a fitness professional, anything that is standing in the service of others to help them grow and reach their potential, whatever that is, and you're not dealing with only your ideal clients, those that help you do your best work and get you most excited, you've got to stay tuned. You have got to hear from this man. He's a multi-time best-selling author. He's a professional speaker all around the world. He's a regular contributor on MSNBC, and he really is a master helping you build a business that you can get excited about. And really, perhaps more importantly, serve your clients better than you ever thought possible. You want to get booked solid? Stay tuned. Welcome back, Dallas. You're listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. Remember, You can listen on your iHeartRadio app. You can also listen on the 660 AM The Answer phone app. That's good for your iPhone or your Android. Now, we're about to get into a fantastic discussion with a great businessman on what Boston Globe or the Wall Street Journal calls a marketing guru. And if you have questions or you want to get a hold of him, find out more about him during the show, you can reach us at 214-736-9696, 214-736-9696, or become a fan of the show and find out everything that's going on here at facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. All right, this is our first week at our new home here, this new great station. We're so happy to be here at 3 o'clock on Sundays, every Sunday, giving you balanced truths, communicating to you ways you can improve your life, your finances, especially dispelling all the misconceptions going on there about the current real estate market. And so I'm happy to be here as the person to bring that to you every single week. And I can't think of a better way to start off this new station than to have this guest on the show. My special guest today is Michael Port. He's an entrepreneur. He's a business coach. He's a public speaker literally all around the globe. And he is a best-selling author of multiple books. And he's a New York Times best-selling author of the Think Big Manifesto. I want to give you a concept of how many people he's helped, because it's literally thousands upon thousands of people change their business and consequently change their lives for the better by getting book solid with your ideal clients, those that help you do your best work, as he says, get you most energized. He actually helped me personally. I'm speaking from personal experience. I went from a one-man show to now a 10-person team, including my business partner, and we could not have done that. We could not have grown like this and done it the right way, helping people along the way without Michael Port. So today he is going to give you some business building nuggets that I know are going to get you on the path to make a quantum leap in your business, no matter what the market is like. There is no better way I know of recession-proofing your business than to follow the principles that this man teaches. Michael, it is a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Can I take you everywhere I go? Do that introduction. That was very kind. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You bet. It's my pleasure. And yes, you can take me everywhere you go. I'll be happy to go to some of the places you go. I'll hold you to that, Michael.
All right.
So how did you actually get started at being a business coach?
I just decided that I wanted to be one. I mean, it was really that simple. I've always lived my life that way. You know, I get really excited about something, and I see the possibility in it. And I know that if I want to create that future, that I can. And so I started. But here's the thing. I just sort of thought that, you know, I would work with people on branding. And, you know, the clients would just fall into my lap because, you know, I was just such a nice fella. But that's not really how it works. And so I needed to, you know, get much more focused on the actual marketing and sales process of developing that service business because, you know, being an expert in branding doesn't necessarily mean you know how to turn, you know, that brand identity into sales. And what I've found over the years is that the big myth, I think, that's out there that a lot of marketing educators perpetuate is that marketing gets you clients. I don't think it does. Marketing simply creates awareness for the product and services you offer. What you do once somebody becomes aware of what you offer until the time they buy is what actually books the business. So we really need to make sure that we understand the difference between the marketing and the sales process. And it's the reason that in Book Yourself Solid, the fourth module includes the 6 core self-promotion strategies. Not the first, the fourth. Because I don't want to teach people these core self-promotion strategies until they have a good foundation for the business built, until they know how to build trust and credibility, until they know how to price their offers, until they know how to have sales conversations. Because if those elements aren't in place, if you don't know who your ideal clients are, if you don't know why people buy what you're selling, if you don't know, you know, what your personal brand identity looks like, what you stand for, if you don't know how to talk about what you do without sounding confusing or bland or like everybody else, or without using the dreaded elevator speech, you know, if you don't, you know, if you're not perceived as the authority in your field, not perceived as really, really likable, you know, I could go on and on and on. But if these things are not in place, then all the marketing in the world is not going to do anything for you.
Which I find so unique because you said, you know, you're helping people brand, you're doing that. You think you'd want to jump to that. And I have to say, as soon as I start reading that book, I wanted to jump to that, but you tell us not to. In the book, it's like, don't do it. Don't jump ahead. And I didn't.
Yeah, I imagine. Don't jump ahead. I mean, look, this is what most people do. We jump ahead, we skip around, we get, you know, excited by something shiny, and we want to skip the first few steps. The fact of the matter is we need to build this marketing system is a sequential process, and that's what Book Yourself Solid is. It is a very sequential process. You do this, then you do this, then you do this, then you do this. And that process, once it's in place, repeats itself again and again and again. So think about it. You use a few of those self-promotion strategies to create awareness for who you are and what you offer. Somebody becomes aware of you, they come check out your foundation. If your foundation is strong, if they feel that it is built for them, then they'll give you an opportunity to earn their trust. So is that enough? No, of course not. You now need to earn their trust over time, and any offers that you make need to be proportionate to the amount of trust that you've earned.
Exactly.
Then if your prices are perfect and you know how to have the sales conversation, that closing conversation, then you can book the business. This process repeats itself again and again and again and again, every single day, every single month, every single year, if it's built properly. And so then over time, you do a heck of a lot less marketing than you might think you need to do.
That is, I almost cut you off because you had such a good dramatic pause there, but you were just getting going. But that's so critical. And one of the first, I think the very first thing you talk about in that book, speaking of not jumping ahead, was one of the most powerful things to me, and it is about the red velvet rope policy that you, and at first, I'll be honest, it seemed kind of selfish to me. And I think of course, you mentioned that and you understand that because you talk about that in the book. But it is, I got to serve everybody. Well, no, because, if you're not serving the people that give you the most energy, you're not doing the right service to them. And now I understand it's actually just as much for the client as it is a service professional. So could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So the very first chapter in Book Yourself Solid is the red velvet rope policy. And this is often very confronting, as you said. And I put it first right up front because I want it to be a little bit confronting. And I want to set the tone. I want to set the tone that says this is your business, this is your life, you decide who you work with. You don't work with people that drain your energy. You don't work with people that make you feel like your work is not worthwhile, because if you do, you're going to want to do bodily harm to somebody, and that's not going to be very good for business, or you're not going to do very well. You're not going to be great at what you do. This red velvet rope policy is a filtration system so that you only work with ideal clients, people that energize you, people that inspire you, but most importantly, allow you to do your best work. Because what happens out in the world when you're doing your best work? Two things. First, people are talking about your best work. And second, you love every minute of the work you do. And if you love every minute of the work you do, you're going to want to do more of it. You're going to be inspired to go out and do more marketing. You're going to feel more pride. And when you feel more pride, you feel more confident. And when you feel more confident, you generally book the business. So, this is, as you said, not just for you, however. This is also for the people that, that you're serving. If you don't gel with somebody, if you don't resonate with them, if you don't connect with them, you're not going to do your best work with them. You're going to, dread the phone calls from them. And, as a result, they're not going to get great service either. And, that's not really fair to them. So I think, to be very successful with integrity, I think those two things need to be in line. They need to be balanced. You need to be in service of others as you stand in the service of your own future. Those two things need to be in balance. If it's all about you, you're going to have problems. If it's just about them, you're never going to make any money. So it's going to have to be about both of you guys in balance, in alignment, and as a result, you'll work with the people you're meant to serve, and they will get your best work.
You're listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network. My special guest today, Michael Port, international public speaker, best-selling author. We're talking about a re-release of his book, Book Yourself Solid Illustrated. And I want to get into that, but first, you touch on so many subjects, and I had written down one of the most powerful statements that I got from you, which is how much you always say this, I thank you for standing in the service of others as you stand in the service of your own destiny, if I didn't butcher that. But
no, that's right.
So that's something that's so powerful, and I appreciate that you bring that up because I see so many people lacking passion in their work, and they just seem, just downcast and, just disgruntled and miserable, and it's a bad cycle, and this helps break that. The solution is Book Yourself Solid. The solution are the ideas and the principles that you lay out in here, and I want to know, in your expert opinion, what are the biggest challenges facing service professionals today?
Well, A number of different things. Certainly, there are more professional service providers now than at any time in history, in large part because the nature of our economy is changing and more people are moving out of the corporate world, either by choice or by force, and they've got to figure out what to do with themselves. And there are certain professional service fields that have a low barrier to entry. You know, it doesn't take a lot to get in. It takes a lot to stay, right, to really, really make it. And then, of course, I'm not so sure that these new business owners realize the importance of connecting the philosophy, the way they see the world, with their business development and marketing efforts. And, you know, sometimes this is hard when you are scared, when, you know, you're in a position that is fragile. We start to do things that we might not normally do if we were more secure in ourselves. And so we sometimes compromise ourselves. We water ourselves down, and maybe we even sell out. And that path is a very slippery slope. That is a very, very dangerous place to be. So that's where integrity comes in. That's where standing for something of significance comes in. And to me, it's always about serving other people, because we're happier when we serve other people. We think more of ourselves when we do good things for other people. And this is not just me talking. This is absolutely empirically, based, that we are happier, most happy, in fact, when we take care of other people, when we do good things for other people. And so I think, I talk in Book Yourself Solid Illustrated about being a hero. And my definition of being a hero is just somebody who helps others. You don't try to be good. You don't try to be right. You just try to be helpful. And if you're helpful, you'll probably be in the right, and you'll probably be really good at what you do. And you'll feel like a hero. You'll feel proud of yourself. You'll know you're taking care of the people around you, both personally and professionally. And what that does for the way you see yourself is unparalleled.
That is such a huge point, and I really want to encourage all of you out there, too. When you hear this thing about strategies and tactics, there are a lot of books, there's a lot of resources you can find about strategies and tactics. But the key thing, the philosophy that goes with that, now you're congruent. Now you're genuine. Yeah. Now you're authentic. Right, Michael?
Yeah. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. You know Book Yourself Solid Illustrated. You know the whole system. There's more strategy and tactic in there than you possibly could ever use for one business, right? But my point is that it needs to be balanced with the kind of philosophy that excites you, that compels you, that makes you feel like a hero.
That's right, and then
yeah, go ahead.
That compels others. Now you're listening.
That's right.
That's right. And you're listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network. When we come back, I'm going to go deeper on exactly what is different about Michael's book, Book Yourself Solid Illustrated. Like we just talked about, there are so many challenges facing service professionals today. I know you're working so hard in their business. I know I talk to so many service professionals that are working so hard. You're busy being busy, but seemingly getting nothing done. It's like, there's this wonderful world waiting for you, but it's behind this locked door, and you just wish you had the key. Well, I am going to show you how to get a free signed copy of that key right after this. And we're back. I mean, of course I'm doing that every week. Of course, this is the first week you've heard at this new station. Even when I have Michael Port on as a guest, I am doing that every single week. Thank you so much, Dallas, for joining us again. You are listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network. I am your host, Andy Tuttle. Remember, you can listen to us on the 660amtheanswer.com. You can listen on the 660 AM app. You can also listen on the iHeartRadio app if you want. And remember, you can reach us, 214-736-9696, or you can get into the conversation on our fan page. We'd really like that at facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. My guest today is Michael Port. He is re-releasing, it's a brand new book, really. It's an updated, illustrated version of his bestseller, Book Yourself Solid, one of his bestsellers, let's be honest. He is a mentor. He's a public speaker all around the world. He is an author, as you know, and he is sharing with us and with you today some basic principles on how to build a business you can get excited about, and more importantly, your clients can get excited about. There is a key to unlock the potential you have through your business and your life and the things that you can offer the world. And I really believe Michael's book does such a great job in giving you that key. So here's what I want you to do. The first 5 people to go to the fan page and post Book Me Solid will get a free signed personalized copy from Michael Port. So go to the fan page, facebook.com/Tuttle Talk, and just post Book Me Solid, and you will get the first 5 to do that. You're going to get a free signed copy of the new book, Yourself Solid Illustrated. Michael, what do you think about that?
I think that's pretty good. Can I go? Can I do that?
Yeah, you can. Sure. Yes, please. I would love for you to sign a copy for yourself. Yes, you can be on there.
Can I get a free copy?
You do get a free copy. But so getting into we were talking about the challenges that service professionals face. We've been talking about that face the average service professional today, and how the solution really is Book Yourself Solid. And I want to kind of go into really quickly in the next couple of minutes what you have found that the top few traits are that most successful service professionals have.
Number one, let's just go one. Number one,
okay.
Network. That's it. Look, there are 6 core self-promotion strategies: networking, direct outreach, referrals, speaking, writing, and web strategies. You could do nothing else except continue to develop deep relationships of meaning with the people that you already know, and meet people that you do not yet know but would like to know because you feel like they will have a positive influence on your business. Look, when I release a book, it's successful because other people are willing to share it. You're willing to invite me onto the show so I can talk about Book Yourself Solid Illustrated. I mean, that is a gift, and it's a gift of immeasurable proportion, and I never take these things for granted. And, the question always is, how do you become a person that others want to help? How do you behave in a way that others want to do more for you? This is always the question that I ask. And it is, I think, the most important question that we ask ourselves. So here's what I do every single day. Each day, I introduce 2 people who do not yet know each other but might find each other relevant. And, of course, I know these people already, so I can make the introduction. And I say, look, Andy, I think you should meet Stephen. Stephen, I think you should meet Andy. Stephen is relevant to you because of this. Andy is relevant to you because of this. Here's your information. Peace out. See you later. That's it. I do it every day, at least 2 people. I share some information every day with at least 2 people. Now, information not that I have created, but articles that I've read, things that are relevant to those particular individuals, and it can be personally relevant, like somebody's into golf, or it could be professionally relevant, something about sales for somebody who is in sales. Every single day. And then every single day I share compassion with at least 1 person. I mean, I try to do it all over the place, but I specifically search out in my network the person or the people that I think need a little bit extra compassion, extra support. So if you think about the number of people that I'm able to touch every single month, do the math. That's basically 5 people a day. Over the course of 5 days, that's 25 people. Over the course of 4 weeks, that's 100 people that I'm continuing to stay in touch with and develop relationships with. Now, that's not even the people that I'm reaching out to that I do not know, but I'd like to know, and making friends with them, that maybe those will turn into business relationships later on. But it's never quid pro quo. I don't expect anything back. I don't expect anything from anybody. But I just try to find ways of being relevant. And this is an important networking strategy. And I teach it in Book Yourself Solid Illustrated. It's so important that I partnered with a company to create a software, and there's a free version, so you can get the free version if you want. But if you want this ability to make these introductions, share these articles, etc., you want to use the premium version. And I'm going to give you a link for that because it's literally brand new. I just announced it last week.
That's fantastic.
It's called, contactually.com/BYS. You have to go to that specific link, contactually.com/BYS, if you want the Book Yourself Solid strategies that are built into it.
And I'm going to post that up on the
version.
That is a huge thing. Thank you so much. And I'm going to make sure to put that up on the fan page. So if you missed that and you're in your car and you were not able to write it down, go to facebook.com/Tuttle Talk I will post it there for you. Thank you so much, Michael, for that.
You're welcome. Sure.
So, one, I got to tell you, that networking strategy, that honest giving strategy has been when I read your book, I've used that for years. It is the single most important strategy I have employed. It has absolutely changed the way I interact with people, and it is honest, and it is genuine. It's just putting, like you say, having a strategy to align with your philosophy that impacts people in a positive way.
And it sure isn't hard, and it's not time-consuming.
No, it's all done in less than 30 minutes. I mean, it doesn't take any time at all. It's ridiculous.
No, absolutely not. No, I'll sometimes connect with 20 people in 10 minutes because sometimes it's just a quick little note. Hey, how you doing? What's going on with the family? You know, I heard I think your daughter's graduating this year. Congratulations. That's a big deal, you know. Finally, she'll be out of the house, you know, whatever, right? You're just connecting around things that are relevant to people. It doesn't have to be clever.
Right. That's the thing I think people try to do so much. You don't have to be clever. Like you always say, just be authentic. And speaking of being authentic, you know, you are very authentic in the beginning. When you've always been an authentic person. That's what you talk about. And you did that as a business coach. What inspired you to say, well, you know what? I'm just going to write a book about this.
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't know how any other way to be, but, you know, the way I am, right? So I never really thought about being anything except that. And I think sometimes when people go into business, they think they have to sort of create this persona or, you know, this identity that maybe is different than they are in order to be seen as credible in business. And nothing could be farther from the truth. You know, people will hire you, especially in real estate, because of who you are as a person. Right? My realtors, I love them. They crack me up. I send, you know, dirty jokes to a team, husband and wife. And I send dirty jokes to them all the time, and they send them back to me. And we're friends now. I've sold and bought a bunch of properties, and they always tell me, Michael, don't write any books about how to be successful in real estate because they would be terrible. You have no idea what you're doing, right? Which is true. I don't. That's not my thing. But I like them. You know, Are they better at marketing my properties than somebody else? I don't know. Not necessarily. But I like them, and I trust them because I like them. And so it's a simple concept. It's a very simple concept.
And that concept you wanted to get out there, I assume, to the world in a bigger way. Obviously, it's good business, too, and you needed to figure out a better way to communicate that. Is that what made you say, you know what, I'm just going to break down and get this book done?
Well, look, when I first wrote it, I knew that there was a need for it. I knew when I was looking at the marketing books that they were out there, that they were tactical, that they were maybe even a little bit dry, with all respect to a lot of my colleagues. They're very smart books. But I knew that people needed the opportunity to learn marketing and the opportunity for self-expression at the same time, to see how those two things are so connected. And when people read this, at first they go, I'm not sure I get that, right? But when you read it, when you read Book Yourself Solid Illustrated, you'll go, oh, yeah, I get it. Now I know what direction to go to. And so I did this first edition in 2006. The second edition was 2010. And this edition now is a complete redo. People say to me, Michael, why'd you do this? Because it's not broken. Why would you try to fix something that's not broken? I said, first of all, because I never want to rest on my laurels. I think that you can always improve anything that you've created in the past. And over time, you see what works and what needs improvement. And what I realized is that people, even if they love the book, wouldn't finish. Because it's 90,000 words, and not everybody loves to read, and why should you have to?
Right.
You want what's in the book, you want the inspiration, and you want the information. So I figured, how can I get it easier to the people that I'm meant to serve? And I said, oh, my God, forget it. Let's get rid of the text. Let's draw all of it. Let's illustrate the entire Book Yourself Solid system so you can look at one page and go, I get it, instead of reading 20 pages. And it's made all the difference in the world. I honestly think it is the coolest book I have ever done, and it's in large part because I hooked up with this visual strategist named Jocelyn Wallace, and she's just extraordinary, and she really helped improve the book.
That's a powerful thing. You're listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network. My special guest is Michael Port. His new book is Book Yourself Solid Illustrated. I'm very fascinated that you were even able to do that and make. It's just something I think that blows the mind that you can make that much text. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and you figured out a way to actually hold that up to make that true. And look, I've taken it in a step further. The exercises, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of exercises that you need to do in the book. I've taken them all out of the book and put them in an iPad app or any mobile device. You can even do them online. So now you can do them anywhere. You can see them on your mobile device.
You can enter in the information, tells you exactly where you are in the system, saves it all. You can print it up. You can still do them in the book if you want, of course, but I'm trying to make it more tactile, more visual, for different learning styles. And that comes free when you buy the book now during the release. When the release is over, that app will be $50, but now it'll be free when you buy a copy of the book. I'm also doing an event in Philly at the end of the month for people who buy 10 books. They can come to the event for free, and that's a full-day event with me. Normally, it's priced at $1,000, so you buy 10 books, it's about $200. Oh, and you can also bring a friend for free, so if you decide to split the books, that's 5 books each. And, that's what, $100 or something?
That's a huge deal. Are you kidding me? Okay, so look, at our last couple of minutes here, because I'm going to cover that part again. I've been writing notes, but I want you to sum up this for people that are tuning in, in between here. Who should read this book, and what are the key takeaways?
Great. Anybody that sells professional services. So anybody in real estate should be reading this book, no doubt about it. Number one takeaway is that marketing doesn't get you the clients. So what you do once somebody becomes aware of you, up until the time they actually become a client, is the key. And Book Yourself Solid is structured so that you know what strategies you should employ, what marketing strategies you should use, but then specifically what you should do from the time they become aware of you all the way up until the time they buy. And the process repeats itself again and again and again and again. And always remember that full self-expression, I think, is the most effective marketing strategy in the world, because people will first look at you and say, do they help me get what I want? Yeah, they do. But are there other people who do that? Yeah, there are. But they're going to choose you because of what you stand for, because of who you are as a person. And they need to see that right off the bat. You can't hide that. You can't keep that locked in the closet. That's got to be front and center, because that's why the people you're meant to serve are going to choose you. So you stand in the service of others as you stand in the service of your destiny.
That's fantastic. Michael, I want to get to this before we run out of time. Just here's how this works, guys. So look, you've been listening to Michael Port. This is great content. I hope you've been listening and taking notes. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. If you're the first 5 to post, Book Me Solid, on my fan page, you're going to get a free personalized signed copy of Michael's new book, Book Yourself Solid Illustrated. Also, if you miss out on that, don't miss out on the book. Don't miss out on this knowledge that can make a huge impact in your life and in your client's life. You can pick up the book at bookyourselfsolidillustrated.com. bookyourselfsolidillustrated.com, and you can find out a lot more about Michael on his own website, michaelport.com. Do that. Get a free copy of his app. I'm going to have all of the details up this posted on the fan page as well, because you got to get your hands on this. Michael, I can't thank you enough for being on the show today.
Hey, no, it is my pleasure. Thank you so much. You rock.
Yeah, but thank you very much. Have a great one. We'll be in touch.
Okay, bye now.
Bye. You are listening to Tuttle Talk on the Real Estate Radio Network. I hope you have enjoyed this hour. We are out of time, but this has been a great show. I want to thank Dan Bradford, our production director. That's it for today. Everything Internet is coming up next. This is Andy Tuttle for the Real Estate Radio Network. Thank you for listening to Tuttle Talk, where we're making financial intelligence a priority in our community. Have a great weekend.
You've been listening to Tuttle Talk on 660 AM The Answer. You can reach Andy at 214-736-9696. That's 214-736-9696. Or email him, questions@andytuttle.com. Don't forget to become a fan of his show by going to facebook.com/Tuttle Talk. You can also catch previous shows by going to andytuttle.com.